All right. Instead of continuing to write post after post and respond to those that feel the need to argue with me on social media about this topic, I'm going to go to film one video to cover everything on speed training for golf. So, first off, I want to start by saying speed training, A, does not inherently create injury risk or pain when done correctly, and B, does not inherently lead to loss of accuracy when done correctly. So let's talk about speed training a little bit. If you aren't doing speed training and you're a golfer that wants to get faster and gain distance, it's one of the quickest and easiest ways to get to that goal. If you don't lift weights, if you're not doing any type of training in the gym, I would suggest also starting to add some mobility and strength training within that. But still, speed training is the quickest way to gaining swing speed for any golfers, especially those that haven't tapped into it. So how do we go about doing this? Well, first off, is just spending some time swinging as fast as we can. So if we want to do that safely, we're going to do a proper warm-up. We're going to ramp up our swings to that 100% mark over, let's say, 10 to 20 swings, and then we're going to go at it. I like to start with a total of 20 to 30 swings, whether that's with super speed. If it's stacked, I recommend just doing their program. You know, we've got the thunder stick, we've got rip stick, we've got other things. I like to build my own protocols for that. And I like to do some speed training with driver and ball. Some of my clients only do speed training with driver and ball. Generally, we're going to do 2 to 3 sets of 10 swings with some rest in between sets, and about 10 seconds rest in between swings. We're not going out and raking balls and beating balls. We're doing this with a purpose. When we do speed training, we always want some kind of speed feedback. Ideally with ball and club, we're getting swing speed and ball speed, but at the very least swing speed. Obviously, when we're not hitting a ball, we're just focusing on swing speed. That's our feedback. If we're trying to change our swing movement and mechanics, video or someone else's eye is going to be our feedback. If we're trying to change contact, having some feedback with foot spray on our face, that's going to be our feedback. If we're trying to work on shot shaping, what the ball's doing is going to be our feedback. We need some kind of feedback to tell us what we're doing and to tell us how to adjust. Our goal with speed training is to make that number go up and to do it purposely. There are components of speed training. So sequencing and mechanics play a part in that, but we're not going to get too caught up in that when we're doing speed training. Now, when we're done with speed training, if we need to spend some time working on sequencing mechanics, then we need to have some blocked practice for those things. If we're doing driver and ball speed training, we probably want to spend some time tracking contact. Buy some cheap powder foot spray, spray your face, see what happens when you ramp speed up. Do you lose the center of the face? Do you go towards the heel? Do you go towards the toe? That's why I would recommend checking out Adam Young's stuff and some of his drills. So when I'm working with a client and we're doing ball and club speed training, those are some things we track. Because if you're getting all over the face, well then, yeah, we need to spend some time working on finding the golf ball and finding the center of the face at those higher speeds. That is all part of this process. This isn't just a short-term thing where you're done. It's part of the process of becoming a better, faster golfer. Building up your reps, just like you would in a gym. You're going to build up your reps. You're not going to jump in and do 100 swings. You're going to build up. If you haven't done it all before, 10 to 20 is fine. I have a goal of at least building up to 30 within a session, 2 to 3 sessions a week, especially in the off season. In season, maybe we're going to back off on that because we're already making a ton of swings. If you're making a ton of swings in the winter, let's say you have an indoor hitting facility, well, you need to balance all that out to stay healthy. And again, we need to be in the gym working strength, power, and mobility along with that. So for all of you that want to argue with me, that's fine. You can believe what you want to believe. I've got a pretty good track record of helping golfers, and I know a ton of other coaches that I respect that take the same approach I do that also have a good track record. I can count the number of times a golfer has gotten injured from my speed training, from my programs, and that number is 0. Okay? Because we do it personally, do it guided. We're not just going out there and banging drivers, as someone said earlier. This is purposeful speed training. Speed is a skill. We're going to train it specifically just like we would train any other skill. And when we're not working on speed and we're working on something else, then our focus is going to be elsewhere. But when we're working on speed, that is the goal, that is the focus. So to sum all it up, speed training, when done properly, is no less risky than any other training. Speed training, when done properly, does not automatically lead to loss of accuracy. And you can very well focus on both of those things simultaneously and build those things, alongside of one another. It doesn't have to be one without the other. You can get faster and improve accuracy. You can get faster and improve your mechanics and your sequencing. You just have to make sure you're spending time working on each of those on its own, and then eventually you have to put those things together. So hopefully this clears some things up. For those of you that still don't agree with me, that's fine. You don't have to agree with me. But I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep doing what I know helps golfers that have the goal of gaining distance and gaining speed. Do it safely, and do it without losing control of the golf ball. It's understanding that process. It's understanding the purpose of what we're training while we're training it. And everybody's process is going to be differently. So if you're a golfer that wants to gain more distance, reach out to me. Let's talk, let's chat. Let me help you do that. The biggest takeaways I want you to take away from this is, if you want to get faster, speed training needs to be a part of that, along with strength training, along with power training, along with working on mobility. And that's going to look different from every golfer based on their needs, their history, injury history, training history, so on and so forth. So everybody have a great day. I'm out.